Well, hello, model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Ral, and this week I'm going to do a bench update here on projects that are on my bench right now and what I'm working on. Show you what I'm doing, and some of these projects you've seen, some of them you haven't. But I bounce around. Some things I save, or I'll work on a certain kit, but I'm saving it to make sure I film it for you. And others I'm just kind of working on, or I guess something that just kind of delayed it a little bit. So in my modeling time, I'll work on something else. That's why I'm always bouncing around and having so many things going on. And it's more of how I work, and it works for me. Because, sometimes planning on what I'm going to build and show you a little different versus me just enjoying my modeling time itself and just sitting at the bench and building. So that's what's going on here. Is just kind of a couple of different projects. I got my 95 Vipers interior sitting right here, and some things I've been working on. But like the interior, I did get it shot in the beige, which is what's going on here. And a lot of this needs to be blacked out, because on this one, the beige is right here, but the rest of this panel is black. There's a lot of black in the interior on this thing. The dash, I've started to work. I shot the beige on it, but it's really only these two bottom pockets. The whole top of this dash is going to be black, and of course that is black. The gauges are white, so I've shot those white with the not really airbrush, but brush painted them white, because the gauges are white on this one. But I got a little booger right there that I got to touch up, and then I'll get the black brushed or whatnot, maybe airbrushed. But if I do that, I'll have to block the white off. But I'll figure all that out. Same thing kind of with the steering wheel. Thought the steering wheel was going to be one color, and then realized it really should be black as well. So glued it to the steering column, even though I shot that black already. So these are ready for another layer. The seats I don't have to do anything to. They're the color they're going to be. But the door panels are a little bit of two-tone as well, so I need to mask and shoot some of this stuff black. So that's kind of what's going on here. I'll move it off to the side. Just working on those. And I got the body over here. I did the polishing video. So that's right. I polished the emblems through the paint to get them in there. But since then, the whole body has been shot clear coated. And you can see I've obviously put the tail lights in it. I got to paint the amber and clear on these lights down here, but just kind of picking away at it. Got to black out all of this, and then the side pipes as well. So there's some black trim that needs to be done, but got the mirrors in there, the clear. They'll need a little bit of cleaning up, and then this will have to be black, this first section of that loop there. It's not really a roll bar, but that section there. But so the body is pretty far along. Here's the rear bumper, and then the two hoods. I got one hood for closed and another hood for open position. These hinges come in the kit, but they don't work. So you have your choice of gluing the hood up or gluing it down. It'll kind of stay when I put it in the frame up a little bit, but I don't know if it'll stay without glue or not. So making both so I can have the hood open or the hood closed. But since I had two kits, I thought that would be kind of cool. So that's why I got two hoods, but you can't really do much else with that. And here's the front bumper. I put the fog lights in there, but I only had the lenses in the smoke. The clear ones I have from the GTS, they're too big. So I decided I would just use the micro crystal clear right here and fill them and let those be the lenses. But they're drying, but that's why they're milky. They'll eventually dry clear, but it takes a while. And I've done a couple of layers, but this is the final layer, I think. We'll see when it fully dries what they look like. But that's what's going on there. Another one I got here that really hasn't been on the channel. That's only because I really only started it a couple of weeks ago. That's my monogram Ferrari Testarossa convertible. Fun kit and pretty easy one to build. It's a like I did the Miami Vice car, which I have off to the side here. So, but this one, it's the convertible, or Spider, whichever way you want to call it. So, been playing with that. So for comparison, there's my Miami Vice Testarossa. Then I've shown this on channel after I built it, but I didn't really build it on the channel. But I have this one out for reference, and I'm just looking over the engine and comparing it. So, but this one's really only a couple weeks into it, but it's pretty easy to build. But there's the whole engine completely done, the engine compartment, and the whole underside. It's built, and wheels are on. Decided I was going to put yellow in the center caps. Testarossas really don't have that, but I did the wheels in chrome too. Just kind of having a little bit of fun with this one. And I did the interior. Interior is all black. Not really my favorite color on this car because it's a sea of black. There's really not much detailing. I mean, the letters are supposed to be red. I did paint them. It's really hard to see in there. Light may not get in there very well. But I did some red detailing, did some knobs in the shifter, some of the buttons right there on the console. But I mean, it is a sea of black. But so the interior and the chassis on this are ready for the body. But the body, let's move this out of the way a little bit. Body's sitting right here. It's in primer. Did a little bit of work to this. Not much going on here, but a little bit of body work. Nothing really major. Now, if you're wondering why I got bare metal foil over these, I'm going to trim it, and it's basically to mask the marker lights and that for my second layer of primer and color. So I'll cut them all out, and that way after I've got the primer on there, I can peel them back off, or when I do the red, so that the detail isn't covered and buried in the primer. So, but this one, the first round of body work, I got some scratches here that I need to work on. So it's ready for another layer of primer, and then this is going to be sprayed red. I'm actually building from the video game Outrun, the Testarossa convertible that you always see in the end of the game, or in the game. That's just what I remember, and that's what I always envisioned when I had this model kit, how I wanted to build it. So being that I got this a few years ago, or in the past couple of years, but this is ready. This got a second layer of primer on it. There were some sink marks that I filled with putty, and then the mirrors are ready. So most of this is ready for paint, but the body is waiting for the second layer. But that's what's going on with that one. The Viper's chassis is over here. Oh, forgot to put this in the box. But the Viper's chassis is right here. Now, most of this I've shown you already. Really haven't done much, just touching up here and there and getting it ready. But I did do the silver on the valve covers for the Viper, and then the black right there, because this was all red. The ribs are painted silver, just dry brushing, and the Viper on that side. And a couple of little things touched up here and there. And then the other thing I did was the headlights are now in there, and I did amber and blue for the projection style headlights. They tend to have blue, and they're asking you to paint it blue, even though you put a smoke lens on it, you can't see it, but I'm putting a clear lens on it. But I think it's going to be interesting, but I got to get the interior done, get the interior and main body mounted before I mount the front end stuff to make sure it all fits. So that's kind of where it's at now, and I got some of this other stuff in here. So it's getting there, and this one will be done fairly soon. Now the Cougar, here, let me get the Cougar parts here. I have been working on this, but it's virtually done. The whole body is done and ready. Engine compartments blacked out. I had one little issue with the firewall, which really wasn't an issue. There's the hood. So I changed out the firewall for the later kits one. So here's the later kit's firewall, and it's got this little lip right here, but it has these that go across to the shock towers. The later kits had that. They were added to the can't think of the car's name right now. I'm tired. It's a little late. It's the Cougar Eliminator kit. But anyway, that's where these came from, the Cougar Eliminator kit. But this one glues to the interior like this. So you glue the interior in and you glue this in. But in the other one, this one you glued right to the body, which I had it glued in there, glued right into the body here. And it didn't fit very well, and it knocked off really easy. And it was hard to put the interior tub in there with it glued in place. So you pretty much have to put this in first. So this one goes in there, and then this glues to the front of it, and it glues much better with those pegs. And plus having the extra braces that the original kit doesn't have. As you can see, the interior is now done. It's ready to go in. And then the chassis, I did finish the chassis. This is not glued in, but it's ready. This is painted. Everything fits. Wheels and tires are on. Full exhaust system has been swapped out and fixed, which I showed in my previous video. So this is done. I just got to glue a few things. The only thing that's kind of hold it up was I had to paint the mirror. I forgot to paint this when I painted it. It's now painted, but there's no clear on it, but it's real shiny. So this is kind of what's holding it up is I need to clear coat this, and that's kind of just what stalled this one. I can get it done, but I figure whatever, when I get another body that's ready for clear, I'll paint that mirror. So that's kind of what's happening with this. It's kind of sitting, waiting for that. So other than that, that's pretty much done. And the last one, of course, is my 71 Mach 1. It's sitting right here, the wide body. It's really haven't touched it much, but that's ready. But I was working on the motor, and that's what happened here. Is this motor? I need to sit down, film, me working on it, gluing it, but I needed to touch it up. So I went and finished painting all of this and all the red there. But since I was going to paint this motor in that red, that's also why I painted the engine on the Testarossa. I knew those were going to be the same colors and everything. So that's what kind of sparked the Testarossa to get some bench time. And then this one's kind of off to the side. But I got to get my camera all set up much like this and start working on that. But I wasn't going to have that ready for this weekend. Maybe I will, but it definitely wasn't going to be ready for a video for Wednesday. So that's what this is right here, is a filler while I work on some of this stuff and show you what I got going on, and daydream on some of my other projects that I'm working on as well, or want to bring to the future. We're always thinking of other kits, other builds, things to do, and dig out my stash a little bit of some of my projects. And I've been asked a few times about the 64 Chevelle, about fitting the 65 Z16 chassis into it, and I'm entertaining that idea. So, and I've got that kit, so there's another potential video in the future. But before I get that, I need to get some of these other projects moving along here. But I'll get this interior going. So anyway, you guys, I'll get back to playing here a little bit, but I wanted to show you what I'm up to at the moment. And you guys, thanks for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments and everything. That I really do appreciate it, you guys. And you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next time.